So, by Bhagavan Sri Krishnasya Anugrahena Prasadena. So we have finished 4 chapters. The 4th chapter summary we will see today. And after I've seen the summary, maybe we can chant it together, time permitting. But what I will do is I'm just going to give you the meaning first. So let's grasp the meaning, and then when we do a chanting, let us see, we will do a Artha Pradhana chanting, so that when we chant chapter 4, with the summary being completely in us, let us chant it together. So I thought that will be a good exercise. So I will try to condense it as much as possible, but because we have to cover the whole chapter, I won't go very much detail into any one particular sloka. Where it's required, we will do it. Okay, so this particular chapter number 4 name is, we saw, is Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Also, I'm not going to share much, because we just want to get to the condensed the meaning of it. And the Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga, by the Adhyaya name itself, and what we are, the each padam. So normally we get into the context through that padam, and they have got a very good meaning. So jnanam here means Brahma Jnanam or Atma Jnanam, and the karma, jnana karma, the karma is for the jnanam, the sadhanam is karma, which is as in Bhagavad Gita, it is Nishkama Karma Yoga, simply put. Then there is another padam that we introduce called SanyAsa. That SanyAsa is basically here more of a tyaga mindset, the tyaga manobhava. Meaning to say that mindset of tyaga is what Bhagavan insists in Bhagavad Gita, sannyasa. And Krishna will ask even on chapter 18, he wants to know the philosophical meaning of sannyasa, and then Bhagavan will reiterate karmanam phalam nyasa, that sacrificing the fruits of the action is what sannyasa meant throughout the Gita, and not the ashrama sannyasa. But that's okay. That will set the context for the next chapter, 5th chapter, which is a sannyasa yoga. So here, this jnana karma sannyasa yoga, the essence is the karma yoga in between first. That's what Bhagavan still continuing from the previous chapter of karma yoga. So in this particular jnana karma sannyasa yoga, Bhagavan starts here saying that, again, here this chapter starts with not any Arjuna's question, but Bhagavan's own elaborating from the previous chapter. And in that, when Bhagavan says, this karma yoga, Arjuna, is a time-tested wisdom, a knowledge which has been established right from the time of creation. So he says, this is evam parampara praptam. And I taught this first to Surya Bhagavan, Vivaswan. And Vivaswan taught it to Manu. And Manu is his son. And the Manasaputra, that Manu's son is Ikshwagu, from where the Surya Vamsa come. Then Ikshwagu to the whole Raghu Vamsam, to Ramachandramurti and everybody, it comes through. But the main thing what Bhagavan wanted to say is, Ivam Rajarashiyo Veti. That because this Karma Yogam is set forth as an example by the Kshatriyas. And that again, he wants to give why he chose this particular thing is because Arjuna, being a Kshatriya in this context of Bhagavad Gita in the Kurukshetra, he wants him to observe this and straight away take it as a principle for him to apply then and there in that battlefield. That's very important. But Bhagavan goes into depth in analyzing things. This is nothing different from what you have to get in the moksha, because moksha is what is your ultimate aim. And that through that particular Arjuna being a nimitta karanam, for all the people who are not ashramas, even for ashrama sannyasi, including this particular Bhagavad Gita sets as a great teaching in whatever walks of life. And so when Bhagavan has said about this, that this is a time-tested wisdom which has come across from the creation, And so the creation, another thing is when Bhagavan says is, so the creation has been started with a proper governance, with a proper relevance of teaching for jnanam. And the actions are always evolved in this creation with a good governing knowledge imparted right from the first person, that is the Manu. That's why we call it a mankind, because the frame name Manu. So that also gives a lot of importance, that this mankind is endowed with this powerful knowledge of karma yoga, which is very important for his moksha sadhana. And so then Arjuna asked Bhagavan, if you have, he's just asking very humbly, because it's also for keeping all of us in mind. Bhagavan, because he is not able to directly see Krishna, is asking Krishna, if this be so, that this has come from the creation, but I have seen you because we have grown together, we have played together right from, and we have grown, So how does it that you were also there before and now, and how do I reconcile this time factor? And Krishna very patiently says, like not in any other scriptures that they say, thou shalt not question the words of the God. Nothing like that here. He says, yes, I am Bhagavan, but you are rightful to question in the sincere doubt you have. And so he says, Krishna says, look, we both have, not only me, we both have taken very many births. And only thing is, I know all those births and the purpose and everything, but you do not know. And there again, Bhagavan wants to say, so Bhagavan sets that example of what is the efficacy of incarnation, or that very many avatara. So here when we take avatara, which is only for Bhagavan, it is reincarnation. And for Arjuna, like all of us, when we are born again and again, it is punarjivan. This is mrityu, jivam, mrityu. This is a rebirth. So one is avataram, that is reincarnation, and other side is a rebirth. And that Bhagavan very clearly says, so there is a vast difference in this one. That's why Bhagavan is not avatarati, means is coming down. This is just a literal meaning, but that does not mean Bhagavan comes from heaven to the earth to take any manusya rupam. He is ever there. Only thing Bhagavan says, I am ever there. Only thing is, I take the different form as the situation demands. And while being so, we saw that clearly, lot of beautiful analysis between rebirth and reincarnation, where Bhagavan said, when you are born, you have no choice of this place, the rupam, the parents, or the body, the physique, and everything. You choose this one, you have no choice. But Bhagavan says, I have a choice, because there is a purpose for all these things. And that we are born because we have got that particular papa punya karma. The papa punyam, that is the one cause of our birth. Because you got excess papam or excess punyam, whatever, it's a mixture always. But Bhagavan, when he is born, he is not born out of papa punyam, but he is born out of the samashti loka. That demands Bhagavans to come, because Bhagavan governs this. So that samashti punya papam, which is when Bhagavan says that samashti punya papam is what Bhagavan says, yada yada hi dharmasya. So that sanatana dharma, what Bhagavan says is the samashti punya papam. That dharma is actually the governance factor of this one. So the governance factor regulates this automatically, whether Bhagavan is there as avatara or not as avatara. But what Bhagavan says is that particular dharma, when the governing factor demands that Bhagavan to come down to sadhunam rakshanam, that is for the rightful people to. So three things in that avatar, he says. The purpose. One is vinashaya, dushkritam vinashaya. The people who have got this bad intent, who wants to put this, who have this intention of having this dharma to deplete by the cause of their bad actions. and the righteous people who are upholding the dharma, but they are not able to uphold the dharma because the situations and environment become unconducive, and then they are subjected to a lot of hardship. To quench their hardships of the good people, and to remove these bad weed of these bad people, and again dharma samsthapanarthaya, and again to establish the dharma, I shall take birth again in a yuge avatara karisham, Bhagavan says. So this cyclical factor is part of the nature. Bhagavan knows it. Bhagavan knows when to, and maybe he's taken lot of avatara every now and then. There are a lot of great many people. So sometimes in that, though we say Dashavatara in our scriptures through Bhagavatam and then all the Vishnu Puranam, Bhagavan takes avatara through so many great people all the time. And that we may not know that, some of them. Now, so again, Bhagavan wants to say what that is that dharma rakshanam, dharma samsthapanam, and that dharma is very important for all the mumukshu, for the karma yogis. The karma yoga, for us to do that, the dharma is very, very important. That's why Bhagavan wanted to go into that dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya granir bhavati bharata. So what Bhagavan wants to say that is that all that the sadhunam, that sadhavaha, that people who are all the righteous people like all of us, who are doing this karma yoga, our only aim is to do that karma yoga as told in the scriptures, and to observe the dharma as much as possible. And Bhagavan knows how to take care of that when the depletion of dharma happens, and have that shraddha in that one. That is very important, that Bhagavan wants to do, also convey in that. I am there to uphold the dharma. This is Sanatana Dharma. And when we say Sanatana, as many of you would have known, that Sanatana comes from the word called Sadatana. Tana means ness in English when you say, For example, Puratana. Pura means long before. So that antiqueness, for example, when you say Puratana, when something there is, say, for example, great temple, that particular stone is maybe more than 3,000 years old temple, we say this is a Puratana temple, or this is a Puratana stone. Meaning to say that it is a old antiqueness. That ness is what Tana. Okay. So when we buy a new cloth, we say Nutana. Means that newness in that cloth. Then we say Nutana Vastram. So the Sanatana comes from the word called Sadatana. The Da becomes grammatical rules into Na and become Sanatana. That's all. So that means that eternity-ness or the infiniteness in the Dharma. Many other dharmas may come and go in this one, and that they call that dharma religion. But Sanatana Dharma is the underlying substratum of all the religion, by which we are so fortunate that we are there today to practice it, and this is never imperishable. And Bhagavan, he says in that dharma is avyayam. Why it is avyayam is because the fruit is avyayam, because the fruit is jnanam. For every other ones, the fruit is either swarga or something that you enjoy, or that you will be devoid of sin. There is a fruit. Whereas in our Sanatana Dharma, the fruit is knowledge. Knowledge is imperishable, so that's why the Dharma is imperishable. I will tell you one small experience that I had last Sunday. Last Sunday, when I went for this GyAna Kantasparda in Liverpool, the same school we had. The place we started, because they couldn't give us a hall, because some Christian mission, they wanted to have that day morning from 9 to 10:30 or something. So 9 to 10 we had it somewhere outside. So we had some small chanting and everything. We have made some arrangement. They said 10:30 you can go and occupy the hall. So then I did not know what was happening. I thought, okay, there are another conglomeration of Christianity, whatever they are doing. But as I was passing by, they were also doing something in the Hindi. Hindi they are also doing. And there, the beautiful one, in one room, the children are all chanting this. And they were doing chapter number 2. Karmanyevadikarasya ma paleshu kadachana, ma paleshu. There is, and the children right from the age of 4, we are teaching there, fruits leave it to Krishna. And there they were singing, come here, what fruit you want, you ask, I give you. You ask for 1 fruit, I give you 4 fruit. Fruits is why I give you plenty. Only thing you have to ask, whether you ask or not, I give. So there is one place God is giving fruits. Here, one place God is saying, don't ask for fruits. Just telling you. So then what will happen? The person will say, that room God is giving fruit. Easy, I will go grab it. Here, they are saying, don't ask for fruits, but keep doing boring. I'll probably go there. You understand now? So that's how the loka is going sometime. But we are not to worry about it. You understand what I mean? The same place last this thing. It was, I just explained, I said what is happening there. But here, so the main thing is here, what coming back to the crux of it, the jnanam itself is the fruit. But the jnanam is, itself, Bhagavan says that fruit is avyayam jnanam. Okay, so because of that one, Bhagavan says this dharma is avyayam. That is why this dharma is imperishable. That is why the eternity is there. The eternity in this one is because of that jnanam, by which, that is why in India, whatever that much invasion has come, that Sanatana Dharma, even in the transaction reality. I'm not saying that in the Paramarthika reality alone the jnanam is avyayam. Even in the Vyavaharika drishti, you can kill my body, but you cannot kill my jnanam. You can get rid of so many temples, you can get rid of so many Sanatanis, but you can never get rid of their jnanam. And if it be required with that jnanam, they will all be again be born with the same jnanam. You understand what I mean? So that is the power of this particular Sanatana Dharma, what Bhagavan again and again wants to say. And that he wants people to focus onto that jnanam, which is the ultimate one fruit you get through the Karma Yoga. It is quite deep to get into that. But the thing is, we foster it from the younger time with the bhakti and shraddha and everything that adds the flavor. So the diversity in this whole thing comes from this particular jnanam. So Bhagavan says, in this way, knowing my avatara, even in that mahima, one attains moksha. And then that's why he says, yata hi mam yata prapatyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. Yes, I'm also unbiased here. Here also I will give you 1 fruit you want, I can give you 4 fruits as well. Whatever fruits you want. That's why Bhagavan has to say this as well here. Yata hi mam yata prapatyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. So that's what Bhagavan says. But Arjuna, people, when they ask me for knowledge, yes, I'm ready to give that knowledge as well. And that's where, again, Shankara very, very clearly says we have to nahi ekasya palarti palartatvam jnanatvam yugapat sampadyate. That is only small twist there. You cannot say, I want this absolute knowledge and absolute fruit. Both of them can never go together. That was what clearly Bhagavan wanted to say, in that yata mam yata prapatyante tam stateva bhajamyaham. That one, the main thing what Bhagavan wants to say is, but also he says, iha manushe loke karmanam siddhim kankshantah devataha ijante karmajati kshipram bhavati. Yes, that will also give. But what Bhagavan wanted to hear say, and that is why Bhagavan again he says in that one, Vitaraga Bhayakrodha Mam, that it is also possible from this Janma itself. So the secret is doing the action without having with the instrument that Bhagavan has given, in a way that this Karma Yoga can be done with no difficulties as well. That is the essence of that whole Gita again coming into this one. And that context only Bhagavan says, yes, I have given for this Purushartham. That is why when we go the Chaturvida Purushartham, Artha, Kama, Moksha, everything. Kamartha, Moksha, all of them, it is important. We are not saying that, but they all have a different purpose. But the main thing is the Moksha. The all other is Artha, Kamam, everything is only the Upayam through that. And then do not get attached to that one, Bhagavan, he says. In chapter number 7 also, Bhagavan will come and say, a legitimate thing for what we have to do this particular instrument to, Bhagavan says that is not a problem. But do not get attached into that one. So that is why Bhagavan says, Chaturvarnya Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhagashaha Tasya Kartaramapi Vitti Aham Akartaraha. So how Bhagavan wants you to say no is, know that I am really the non-creator or non-karta, akarta. But from a Vyavaharika Drishti, yes, I am karta. From a Paramarthika Drishti, I am akarta. And what Bhagavan wants us to understand in that one is this akartru, the akartru bhavam, not the kartru bhavam. So that is why evam nyatva, he tells Arjuna that all the people before have attained moksha. So that means that Chaturvarnyam and everything is part of that same dharma. But it has got a set shelf life. It has got a set purpose and context. Beyond that, Arjuna, Guna Karma Vibhagashaha, beyond that, the main things for you to understand is to remain as a akarta. And for remaining to that akarta, it is not just a possible of just a superimposition of some kind of a feeling or manobhava, but it is that jnanam. Because as Bhagavan will say that akarta itself is, what is that akarta really here is Atman. So when Bhagavan wants to say that akarta is the one that where you have to focus, meaning to say Atma akarta, that Atma is where your focus is, and that focus comes through the jnanam. By saying truly, see, I am not this body, I am not this mind. So when I am that, when I am totally getting my focus from these ones, by the jnanam of these particular, so much of upayam Bhagavan is saying through the karma yogam, through the bhakti yogam, through the raja yogam, or all those asana yogam and all the yoga, then Bhagavan gave us some 12 yajnam. Afterwards, he'll come into that one. All of them are upayam for this. So you see in this whole chapter, Bhagavan said this dharma is very important. And this dharma is, dharma and the jnanam goes together. But you focus on the jnanam, Arjuna. For that jnanam, abiding by the dharma, going by whatever the context that you have to do in the karma yoga is very important. But while doing the karma yoga, be very mindful focus on the akarta. And then while doing that one, he says, this karma itself is of 3 choice only people have. And that karma is either to do the karma in the right way, and then or vikarma. Vikarma means viruddha karma, doing it in the wrong way, or akarma, not to do it at all. Right? Very simple. We all know. If I have to do an action, I have only 3 choices. Either I do the action rightfully, or the right and wrong is as per the scriptures. Or do the action, or as a rightful action means here as a karma yogi, or I do it as a with the viruddha karma, that karma that is not to be done in the rightful manner, or not do at all. So that's where Bhagavan came to say that in analyzing these 3 ones, karma, vikarma, akarma. So vikarma, take it as viruddha karma, or that which is not a right way of doing an action. You don't have to truly take it as papam or punyam here. That's not the main thing here. The teaching is. Viruddha karma can also be an action that is so much bent upon the fruits, but it could be by the scriptures, but it has got a limited shelf life. that you have to, because the fruits that you get with a sakama karma, if it is a viruddha karma, yes, it will always be born with both pleasure and dukkam. There can never be a fruit which is fully happiness. Again, Bhagavan will chapter 5. Sorry, 1 second. So, sorry, I'll just quickly get a glass of water. Two seconds. So, in the most important verse in this one, as we saw in the chapter 4:17:1, karmanya karmayah paschet akarmanicha karmayaha sabuddhiman manusheshu sayukta kritsna karma krita. In that one, main thing you start take that the first padam karmani akarmani paschet. And we again and again I'm saying that akarma has got different meaning in different verse or within the same verse. So in this verse, first padam, the first quartlet, when we say karmani akarma paschet, this akarma is atma, because akarma is equal to here akarta. Okay, so Bhagavan what says, yeah, jnani, Krishna karma kriti jnani, what he says is, even while doing the actions, which we went into very detail before, that his focus is only on the Atman, because he sees the every action as merely a representation of the reflections from that same Atman in everybody, in everything in this world. There is nothing except that, but he is just got as an instrument, as a nimitta karanam, because every body is a own instrumental cause, and that all that he has got is willpower, is to execute it as per what that demands in that particular context, and not having anything beyond that. And that yajnartat karmanon yatra, even that person does it with a bhakti in doing everything. And by that practice, what happens is that person completely gets that nisangaha in that one. And that's the process from in the karmani akarmani paschet, because his focus is on that atman eva. And then he says in the second quartless, akarmani karma paschet. In that akarmani, it's really the inaction, totally inaction, a voluntary inaction of that ajnani. So he doesn't do that way. Just not doing like what Arjuna is at that time when Bhagavan is giving the instruction. Because in that also there is an action, and that action is not going to give him the moksham, and that is not going to give him anywhere. So akarmani karma yaf paschet sa buddhiman manusheshu isa yukta. That's what Bhagavan wanted to say. And that akartrit bhavam, akartrit in fact is not a bhavam, it is that jnanam, akarta jnanam eva bhavam. And that we are all akarta all the time. We are truly akarta. That's what Bhagavan says. Because that is why it is not a bhavam that I wanted to say. We are truly akarta. It is only that we are so much focused on to this particular instruments that we are superimposed in this action, that automatically puts that kartru bhavam in the mano, buddhi, the deham, ahankaram, everything, because that is what is giving that kartru bhavam, karta bhavam, kartru bhavam. And that one, if that being done with a total submission as a yajnartat, Bhagavan, eva, then that so totally gives you a nisangatvam into that particular actions. That's what Bhagavan's main essence in that karmaniya akarma paschet. Okay, and then Bhagavan wanted to say this particular wisdom of doing the knowledge itself is the great that a man becomes a sannyasi. That is this portion where it comes to the sannyasam in this particular one. And then he says that sannyasam, that chapter, that the same chapter, when we go into the shloka number 20 and 2021, that there are two types of sannyasam. We said, though it is not said in this one, one is called vividisha sannyasa and vidvat sannyasi. As a karma yogi, that what we do is a particular thing, vidvat sannyasi, because it is that knowledge. Because for both vidvat sannyasi and the vividisha sannyasi, the common factor is the knowledge. And for the vidvat sannyasi, that as a true karma yogi, that particular knowledge by which he is relinquishing that some the fruits of action, but still engaged in action, that by itself he becomes a jnana karma sannyasi. But for a vividisha sannyasi, he is a totally a karma sannyasi, sarva karma sannyasi. For him, it's not only the fruits that he has relinquished, but for even the actions, that particular duties of that ashrama dharma, everything. So that is the other, in that the same one, shloka 21, 22, he says, 20, 21, I think. Yadrija labha santushtaha dvantvatito vimatsaraha, that one. So then Bhagavan merges all of them into one. He says, Gata Sangasya Muktasya Jnana Vastita Chetaha Yajnaya Charata Karma Samagram Praviliyate. Because whether an action done by a ashrama sannyasi or a karma yoga sannyasi, only their dress or their external ashrama is different. Maybe their dress is different, the color is different, or their relative context of their position is different. One is in a house, one is in a maybe. But in all, every action, Arjuna, truly, and Bhagavan then it says, the karma itself is Brahman. That is why I said, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanagutam. So in that what Bhagavan says, Arjuna, if you truly look into everything in this world, though there is a functional aspect of it, and there is a particular operator aspect of it, and there is a medium aspect of it, because all these are required for any action. In all of them, if you really see Arjuna, they are all but nothing but Brahman, Brahmaneva. And they all really merge into that particular Brahman. Arpanam Brahma, Brahmarpanam, Arpanam Brahma. Meaning to say that instrument, that he took a havan as one havis, that particular homam, or typically what we do as an example. That arpanam, the instrument what somebody does, that is also Brahman. And in that instrument what he has got one havis, that is also Brahman. The Agni, the medium by which it is going to some destiny, the Devata or to the Bhagavan, that is also, the Agni medium is also Brahman. And last, where it reaches that particular God, whatever God you propitiate and do, that is also Brahman. And even the Brahmana Hutam, even the operator is Brahman. And that everything truly is that Brahmameva, Brahmaiva Satyam, Jagan Mithya. So that's what Bhagavan here brings, that whole Advaita knowledge into this one. And then he says, yes, to get to this one, it could be, there are a lot of upaya, about 12 yagyam, Bhagavan he says. And he says, even in this upaya stage, the greatness in this one, again through Gita, is in whatever stage we may be in, it is still possible to do this particular jnanam upayam. We don't have to think the jnanam is very far from us, and that this akarta is something that is kind of very academically known, and that maybe I do not have. You are akarta every time. Whatever we do, only thing is our focus is not there. That's what Bhagavan wanted to say, that whenever you do Deva Yagyam, or that 12 Yagyam we went through, in all of them he says, Indriya Yagyam, for example, if I truly refrain my senses for not getting attracted into some external object, in that also there is a Yagyam happening. And that time, the Agni is my control, my Indriya Meva. And the objects, the one that is outside one is the Havis. And that has been put into this Agni of my sense control. And within that, within my body, that control, what I have inside, internal to my body, where is my Agni? My Agni is that my internal mind, my Antaryama Buddhi. And that antaryama buddhi, even into that one, that is what he said in the other one, sarva karmani manasa. So that adhyatma vidya is what chapter will come in the chapter 6. So sarva karmani manasa, sarve nindriya karmani, that one. So in everything we saw in that the 12 yajna, and even in a normal pranayamam, he said, when you do a pranayamam, if you are doing in a puraka, like, if you are inhaling, then the agni is inside your stomach, in that pranan, in that you're putting the apanan. So he is in all these things, the neat observation. So what Bhagavan wanted to say, even every time you breathe, you are doing this akartra bhavam, this particular yajnam you are doing. So, and Bhagavan says, in these upayam, one can do any amount of mixture of one or two. It is not that you have to do one of the 12. And he says, but even if somebody has not done with one of the 12 in these particular one, I guess Ishtamrita Bhujaha, for him, there is no happiness either in this world or ever in any other world, because even from that he is not able to do any yajnam. That's what he says. Where is he going to have? Because you're going to be again and again born in this whole suffering only of not getting peace at the end. Okay. And so Bhagavan says, evam bahuvida yajna vidata brahmano mukhe karmajan vididan sarvan evam yatva vimokshase. In that, what Bhagavan wanted to say again is, look, even this transactional action, everything, there is the ultimate agni, whatever you saw is knowledge. When I saw that agni, when I'm doing pranayamam, that particular is also knowledge. When I do a purakam or rechakam or kumbhakam or even any of those, that agni, because what it says, sarva karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. That all the karma, whatever we do in these particular sequence, in whatever we do, whether you like it or not, it culminates in that knowledge only. Because the karma, anything, it just dissipates as it is. Even in the karma, that if you really do it for taking some particular action, for a fruit, and then that fruit also you take it, you consume it, that is also an action. In everything, actually, it just goes away. It priviliyate, and what that one remains is truly the jnanam alone, not the enjoyment. That is a mithya. That's what Bhagavan again he says. Sarva karma kilam partha jnane parisamapyate. So seek that knowledge in every action that we do. And once that particular knowledge seeking has come in the actions you do, whether it be not just our religious action, in every action we do, then that automatic quest for that Atma Jnanam expounds in him unlimitedly. And then he says, seek the Guru, who will then give you through the Guru Mukha that particular Atma Jnana. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashtena. That's why he says pariprashtena sevaya. So here, Bhagavan, very beautifully we saw the importance of approaching the Guru. Through that Guru alone, that ultimate jnanam that we've been seeking, while putting this focus on jnanam in every action, that when his kataksham, that other person who has gone, he is the true Bhagavan at that time. Ishwaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine. That particular Bhagavan, who is the Guru, comes in the form of every person. He then releases you from that Atma. He gives you that Aparoksha Jnanam, that Advaita Jnanam, immediately, he says. And once that is attained, and the Guru continues to guide the person at any time, it does not mean that Guru has to immediately give you that Jnanam. He knows when to give you in what stage. And so that is also a very efficacy in this particular shloka, saying that whatever stage maybe we are in, I am not come to that sake of really questioning query into that. I do not know whether I'm sincerely that much eager to get that knowledge. Will I be able to get? We need not have any such doubt. And that Guru is that is why from Evam Parampara Praptam, Bhagavan started by saying that. in whatever stage we may be, that Guru is there to guide us. And the only sincerity that we want is that, but Guru to guide me. And that Guru at that appropriate, every time, as appropriate to you, guides you through that karma yogam, or even initiating into the karma yogam, or in the karma yogam that you have matured, he gives you that knowledge. And we did not know how much to me to rate, in what stage I am there, or in comparison to Guru knows. And we are all akarta at any time, at every time. We are all mumukshu, whether you like it or not. Only thing is that doubt that we have, that has to quell, and that doubt get quelled in ourselves by the grace of Guru. Guru is the one who gives you that asamshaya jnana in whatever stage we are in. His grace alone, his grace is immeasurable. You cannot express by words. The academic guru who can teach us this knowledge and everything, it has got a limited shelf time. But that Guru, that Atma Guru, that who guides you, even his drishti is enough. And his guidance, once you get it, it is always there. And that power of that Guru's grace is, it cannot be expressed by words. Okay, so coming back to that one, so that is why Krishna, he says that once that Guru gives that particular knowledge and he guides you, there is no way that you're going to go anywhere. It is not only that when the Guru has given you that ultimate Atma Jnana, the bondage of Guru, I'm just taking one step further into that one from the Gita's one. That the Guru's guidance, once it is there, whether you like it or not, any other person in this world may stop giving you that, or may come and go or anything. But the Guru is like, you and Guru are inseparable. That's why I say, Jnana plaveneva vrijinam santarishyasi. And that is the power of that one, and that for the jnanam. And so Bhagavan, he says that jnana agni yataidhamsi samidhogni bhasmasat kurte arjuna sarvai. So whatever that, but we may have that particular doubt, because the doubts are that whether I'm qualified or not qualified, everything by that jnanam is able to burn it off in no time, because that's a convicted knowledge, that knowledge which comes with a complete practice, and by prakarshena pragyaha. So with that pragya atma jnanam, that everything gets quelled as automatically. And that is why Bhagavan says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iva vidyate. That which can purify you, ultimately, there is nothing equivalent to jnanam. This jnanam is atma jnanam. That what you have done through their abhyasa jnanam, that you have done through even one bit of applying this jnanam as a karma yoga. Because Bhagavan is still keeping the same nishkama karma yoga context. But though he sometimes takes it up to that ultimate Atma Jnanam and into that getting the moksha, but in all relevant context, that Jnanam is the boat. Jnana plavenaiva vrijinam santarishyasi. And only thing what we want, Bhagavan said, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. So how does that person get jnanam? Have that faith. Faith here means not, I'm saying that Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Vishwasaha Shraddha. And for that Guru Shastra Vakyeshu Shraddha, if you want, first to have that Shraddha in yourself. If I have that total conviction in me that yes, I am going in that one, that self not, I wouldn't say even self-confidence, that is a English word, may not be the correct one. That Shraddha is actually coming from that one, saying that whatever that shakes me in my life, this Guru Vedanta Vakyeshu, that whatever that I've applied and I'm going, there is nothing that can shake me. That Shraddhavan labate jnana. Because that jnanam, once you have tasted even one micro portion, micro portion, nano portion of it, you will never be able to go into that ajnanam. That is the power of jnanam. But Bhagavan says, kala kramena. It takes time and that's what Bhagavan Shraddhavan Labate Jnanam Tatpara Samyatendra. No. What is it? Nagi Jnane Sadisham Pavitram Vidyate Tatsvayam Yoga Samsiddha Kalena Atmani Vindati. Kalena, there is a time factor, Arjuna. The same thing where he says, Dume Navriyo Vagnihi, Yato Darshamalam, everything that it has got a kalam and kramam. So do not have any doubt in yourself in this. That is why Bhagavan he says, Samshayatma Vinashyati. Have that patience in that kalam and kramam. And that knowledge by seeking, by sincerity in which you want to apply that knowledge and then take it, you will certainly get. But do not have one time also that samshayam, because he says samshayatma vinashyati, not only from the part of going to the moksha, even in this world, you will keep only searching between one fruit to the other fruit to the other fruit, or one God in this form and another God in this form, but you will never ever going to get into that absolute happiness. So that is why Bhagavan says, Ajnascha Shraddhadanascha Samshayatma Vinashyati Nayam Lokostina Praha Nasayam Shamshayam. So that again Bhagavan says that Samshayam is actually, it's within us. As much as the knowledge is within us, the doubt is also within us, in a way. Right? The knowledge is always, but if the knowledge is for a sincere doubt, that gets quelled. But if the knowledge, the doubt in that one is only in the whole path, from the whole guidance into which you are doing, then it cannot be. So that is why Bhagavan said, Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam Jnana Sanchinna Samshayam. That Yoga Sanyasta Karmanam, by that Karma Yoga, if you have practiced it, and if you really applied that knowledge through the Nishkama Karma Yoga, then Jnana Sanchinna Samshayam. Then automatically that will give you jnanam whether you like it or not. And the sanchinna samshayam, that doubt in that one what you had will automatically go. And that is the Shraddha Bhagavan wanted to say. Yoga sanyasta karmanam jnana sanchinna samshayam atmavantam na karmani nibatnanti dhananjaya. If it was done by this particular application of this one, Arjuna, that nibatnanti, he will never get attached to that one. So the attachment is not something that I have to make sure that I have to remove it or I have to remove it from here. It automatically falters away. It automatically withers away. By the power of the knowledge. It's only with the power of knowledge that detachment comes. That's what Bhagavan says. Tasmad ajnana sambhudam hristam jnanasinatmanaha chitvainam samshayam yogam atishto uttishta bharata. So Bhagavan wanted to say that, look, this particular, so again, samshayam, yes, happened that asi means the sword is only by that jnanam, and the jnanam sword comes only from the karma yogam. Tasmat uttishta. Uttishta, meaning to say, start to do the karma yoga. With that, Bhagavan finished. So with that, I am finishing now. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Yoga Sanya Brahma Vidyayam. Okay, so shall we chant quickly, or what do you reckon? I will probably stop recording, or maybe time up. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambhade Jnana Karma Sanyasa Yogo Nama Chaturthyo Dhyayah Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Tat Sat.